Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. I am Lily, and in this video we are actually going to do a little explanation but very hardcore video. We are going to traverse the entire Scandinavia, not Denmark, sorry, Denmark. We're going to start far out in Finland and move upwards towards the rivers. We're going to plonk our butts down on the new rivers and see how they are. And we are going to see the difference between starting fairly south in Scandinavia, still region 1, and how everything changes as you come to the very top of what you can possibly go to in northern Norway. So it's going to be like maybe a bit boring and easy to start with if you're looking for real hardcore play, but as the tribe grows and we move further and further up the map, we will see that we are going to start to have issues. So this city you see here, or this village, is a hardcore village up in as far up in Norway as you can possibly come, and I am not by a river. I do not have that luxury. The luxury I do have is that I have found a small area where I have ocean close to both sides. And we all know that oceans have a lot more fish than rivers, but we are lacking a little bit of the riverside growth that we normally get with rivers, such as a lot of reed. We have basically no reed. There's a few tusks here and there, but we were lucky and got some small lumps of plant fiber, so we don't need a ton of flax farms. So I know we want to feed our livestock with the flax. I'm going to give those to whatever animals I probably will get. But I will also use the acorns. They are quite a bit lower in calorie, but you can save your people to do farms that will actually give food to humans. Yeah, so animals can survive from what we pick from the wild mostly. Right, so what I'm going to focus on mostly today is getting up a good Neolithic sedentary settlement. I'm going to do some scavenging, but not like a ton, because I want to settle with a small tribe, because I fail miserably with the 400 plus tribes that I have with the migration, because I cannot get up enough decent housing, or any housing for that matter, within 12 sleep to satisfy the sleep needs for 400 plus people. That's just not going to happen, because at the same time you also need to get up the flipping farms, and you need to feed your animals, and you need to get stuff into camp. It is really difficult to not lose anyone, so I keep losing people. It's not like half the tribe, but it's still losing people. I don't like that, so I'm going to do something else. I'm going to try something new today. I'm going to settle sedentary before we get Neolithic options. So around 5k BC, I'm going to plonk my ass down and not move. So by the time we get it into the Neolithic and we get farming and livestock, we are already established with a smaller tribe that has managed to build as we grow. And I think this is what I'm going to try on, even though I do like the challenge of migrating with 400 plus people in very up north in hardcore Norway. So that is what we're going to do today. We're going to move up slowly but surely up into Norway and follow some of the rivers. We're going to migrate quite a bit, and then we're going to hoard. We're actually going to hoard flint cores and fine raw stones, yeah, because the amount of fine raw stones by the coast is flipping atrocious, even though Norway is one huge flipping big rock, you know, so that's something I don't love. Anyway, girls, ladies and bubble butts, let's get going. Right, so we are going to start in 10k BC, of course. We are, of course, going to be hardcore. We're going to be autumn. We're going to have tutorial off, of course. And we're going to do fast. So we have quick historical years. I'm not going to explain a lot because this is hardcore. If you are not an experienced player, this is not where you should be. But look at all the rivers. We are going to follow some of them. And unfortunately, we can't get higher up than you can see right now. I do, however, have a few really old saves where you can go all the way almost to the top. I might play that one day unless it's so bugged. it won't work. We'll find out. We'll find out. Look at the all the rivers by Germany. It looks really weird, and you can see Doggerland. Yeah, that's what you can see in 10K BC. I do like we have some rivers down in Egypt. Could try that one day if we can sneak down there. Who knows? Okay, let's give it a go. Right, leader is okay. She will allow us to have max workage. That is quite good. Let me see. So this is on the more eastern lower parts of Sweden. No, Sweden. Finland. We're gonna let's see. There are a lot of things here that I want to try. Look at the little islands to the sides there. The thing with 10K BC is you plunk your butt down for 2 sleeps and then you are being drowned. I want to try this. I think look how adorable it is. We're gonna die quickly, aren't we? We're gonna drown. Well, we just move, right? Let's try. I mean, how bad can it be? I mean, it's just the start of the game. If we die, we can make another game. We can just start all over again. You know, I think I have killed more tribes than we have actually players that has ever tried the game. So, if you kill your tribe many times in a row, don't worry. Start all over again. Okay, let's see if we can actually survive some here. So the performance is insane. I mean, I already have a really good computer, but everything is so quick. My loading takes like 11 seconds. 11 seconds. Okay, oh, okay, it doesn't look like we can cross the river. Yeah. Not sure I love that. Well, let's just see on the other side. Let's see. There are no stones. No logs to sit on. No stones to sit on. Are there any stones here? Yeah, there might be a few here. You know, yeah, we can just plonk down here. We won't be staying long because we're way too close to the ocean. So, what I want to see is how different it is down here with regards to what foods you get, what animals you get, because there has been changes. I haven't tested them all because there's so many changes all the time. While you guys were on 134, I was on 140. So I had 6 patches I needed to go through in a few weeks. So even though the devs is only 1, he's flipping working like 10. But I guess when you're the one who created the engine, you know everything about it, don't you? Okay, let's get up the crafters. That should never be last on your list. That should be one of the first things. But on hardcore, you also need to do food at the same time, because you literally have 1 day's worth of food, and that's it. You have 1 day. Okay. I'm gonna need fibers, of course. I'm gonna get those cores no matter. There probably will be a higher prevalence of the larger animals here, but we're only 7, so I'm not sure we can actually manage to make a decent kill in time. A kill in decent time. It can take many days. We are, after all, running around with toothpicks, so let that be known. So if you have started at 10K BC yourself, and you know, I probably don't need to tell you guys any of this. If you start a 10K game and you put 2 people to hunt deer, you could go 10 days and get nothing. So be very careful with that. The larger the animals, the more hunters you should use and the better tools you should use. I normally go with, in the end, I go with 6 that hunt everything with wooden spears. When you get the proper tools, you necessarily don't need to have that many. But, you know, really, yeah. Yeah, I think I said it. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got a cat here that is disturbing me. Sorry. I had to bend down and pick him up. I have gotten, after my Abyssinian mix died in February, I was really sad when I lost him, because I've had him for over 14 years. So he got sick and died. Oh, let's put that one down. I'll keep rationing on until I get a blue apple, because that means that one of them did not get what he needed, and then starvation death is literally imminent. So then I go all the way down. So I grieved for a bit, and I still miss him, because he was a character. And then instead, in May, I bought 2 Bengals. I bought one snow mink, and I bought one black cape or charcoal Bengal. I'll put up some photos. You can see they're probably up now. I'll put them up after I'm done recording. As you can see, they are just 4 months and they are already almost 3 kilos, so they are going to be huge. And in a month and a half or so, I am going to neuter them both. They are going to lose their balls, otherwise they are going to terrorize the entire neighborhood and eat up all the dogs. Seriously. I knew they could get really big, but when they are also non-neutered, they are extremely territorial and aggressive. Or they can be, at least, the males, so I will neuter them both. They are not for breeding, so I shall do nature and the social environment a favor and neuter them both. Right, let's see how long we can stay here. It's not, you know, it's just as barren here as it is further up north. But then again, further up north, we don't even have trees. We don't have sticks. We don't have anything up north. Okay, so let's cheat a bit. I always cheat a bit to start with to get things going, getting a few sticks and a few stones to get the fireplace up, and also, of course, the pelt hut. So one thing you will notice, you probably have noticed already because it's been in the game for a while, is that Paleolithic tools are always available. You cannot also lose any Paleolithic items. Everything that you had in the Paleolithic, that humanity had in Paleolithic, will be obtainable and unlosable in the game, except the biface. Yeah, because that is due to gameplay, and like I've said before, it will change once we get more tools. We have several tools in testing that needs to be released, that is not released, and we are creating at least 2, 3, maybe 4 more this year. I have already done the research. Now all we need is an animator, and we need an artist to make the mesh for them, because we do have the templates. It's like with the predators, we have everything ready. We just need the animation and the behavior between predator, human, human predator, and predator environment. Then it's ready, you know. But the devs have the last 6 months or so been so focused on accommodating the community with regards to performance, because everybody was moaning about performance. I mean, seriously, they should have done this years ago. It is so late doing it now. What are you? I don't care. I'll take you. Oh, you got your shit grapes. I don't care. I'll take her. See, they are trying to get deer. Yeah, so now at least we have more people on the deer. Right, so let's get flint. No, fine sticks needs to be more focused on, because we lack that for the pelt hut. We're just placing down these poor man's fireplace until we actually get an axe and therefore logs. So as a precaution, always put down any type of fireplace you can make to start with, because it only takes like between 4 and 6 sleeps before they are grumpy already. They will soon be grumpy. You will soon see there's a blue house coming up, and then they're tired of sleeping by the fireplace. So then you can upgrade it when you get logs. You know, you already know this anyway. So this is literally a playthrough to see how the game behaves with all the changes. I haven't gone through any of the patch notes in like 8-10 months or something like that. It's quite a while. I did make a patch explain for 0.34, I think. Yeah, because some of those changes does not make sense on the patch note. They need to be explained a little bit. So I did that. But you know, for hardcore, I'm not going to do any dinky donkey explanations because everybody will know the majority of what I say. I think the most interesting part of this is going to be for people to see how you can actually do okay with all the new things that has come, and specifically priority. Priority is a pain in the you know where at the moment, because you cannot rely on priority alone. You must also consider distance, skills, who is available in your tribe, how many people you need, how long it takes to do the task, and how many work spots you have open. So this is something I'm telling the beginners as well. I can just as well say it to you guys too, even though you probably already know it. Do not make more tasks than you have people. We cannot do that anymore because we do not have the option to have a free worker group anymore, because it will be normal priority. So yeah, can't do that. What we could do, what we could try, what I haven't tried, but I could try, is to put everything on priority except the free worker group. That should, in theory, work the same way. But then you're also a slave to having the exact work spots open that you would possibly need. Oh, yeah, I'll take you. Oh, I don't care. I'll take them both. In the start, I take everything. I really don't care. Right. So let's see how long we can stay here. I do expect we will have the ocean creeping up on us. Oh, my cats are needing some tender love and attention. Sleeping inside my photograph box, because I'm actually in my office. I have my computer in my office where I also work. I am my own boss, so I'm the one deciding when to work. I do have lazy days, I have to admit. But that's the beauty of being your own boss. You do have flexi time. You certainly do. I mean, in my opinion, as long as I get the work that needs to get done, then it doesn't matter when I do it, as long as it's within the timeline that it needs to get done. So how's it going with the flipping axe, guys? Why are you so slow? There you go. Yeah, let's get. That took quite some time to get people to pick up the flint cores and get enough fine sticks. I need to figure out how to best get everything up in one day. But that's the problem. You don't start with an axe. You need to build it, and then you need first to get the fine sticks for it, and you also need to go get the fine stones. So you can't do that anymore, so you have to rely on the baby fireplaces. They took away the option for members to pick up logs that was laying around loose on the ground, and I still have no clue why they would do that. I don't know why they would do that, because it was such a help to just chuck out a few villagers to bring home a few logs on day one so we could get the proper fireplace up on hardcore. On hardcore, it's really important to focus on getting, finally, fireplace, to get up comfort really quickly, and then you need to focus on getting food, because that is literally it to start with when you start 10 kpc in a fairly inhospitable area. Comfort and food, it has to be those. On beginners, you can focus on comfort for many days before you need to worry about food, because you get like 70 plus dried fish. What the heck? That's such a luxury. We get 6 or 7. That's what we get. We get nothing. Which I approve. I approve greatly. Oh, what is that? It's a rat guy. Okay, we're going to have rat kebab. One person is going to have rat kebab in the morning. And also, something that you guys also probably know, but if there are any inexperienced players watching this playthrough, do not have all animals in one group. Because if you have chased all the larger ones away, you will only have rats and hares left. They are much less afraid of you because rats will come to you no matter what you do. No matter fences, they will be on your ass. That means that's what the hunters in your group will focus on, and that will not keep a tribe alive. Rats and hares are trickles that are supposed to be subsidizing only the big prey coming in. So if you're going to have a successful hunt and avoid sneaking famine, have one group for the vermin and the small prey like rats and hares, and have like one person in it. That's normally what I do. And then you have the proper hunting group that does not go for rats or hares, because then you're guaranteed that you'll get decent amounts of food. What I also do now is that I create a separate stripping group when the tribe is big enough, because I don't want my main food group or anyone else to go get scraps of meat when they could instead go harvest 10 rose hips. So then I have a stripping group with 1 or 2 members that take care of the bones, the extra pelts, and the raw meat from either self-dead animals or animals that has been killed during a chase in camp, or whatever the hunters are not covering. The latter literally normally never happens, because the hunters always finish their jobs. But sometimes if system is slow, then a stripper can be quicker than the hunter. And that's the only time you will see that a stripper is actually taking over a hunter's work. Yeah? Right, so, well, we are still here. And now you can see the housing is yellow. Yeah, they're not happy about that at all, are they? So yeah, I'm gonna have to be careful with rationing and with labor times now, because people are starting to get a little bit unhappy. So I have one person that is idle. It doesn't kill you to have a person idle. You know, the person who is idle will then tidy the camp, stock the fireplace, you know, do communal chores. But since I am a control freak, I need everyone to be exactly as I want them to be. So that guy went to the hunter so we can successfully, or more successfully, try to get home some deer. Look how little food we have. Yeah, you guys will have to be happy with the flipping pines. Pines is very low calories. It's like, is it 300? Yeah, something like 300. Don't forget, everybody knows who plays hardcore regularly. They know that you just hover over anything and they will give you all the information you need. Yeah, let's see what you got. Yeah, I'll probably take them anyway. Yeah, I didn't even check them. Just go. Just take them. Take them. And you are going to be hunting, because then you have a higher rate of success within the day or within 2 days with the toothpicks. So until we get better tools, we just have to rely on more hunters to do the same job as 3 will normally do, 3, 4 will normally do with better tools. But the rule is the same. Don't go hunt aurochs with 2 people. It doesn't matter what tool you have. You're going to chase forever. And you're going to chase them all the way to the edge. And in the end, you will not reach them within your work hours. And you certainly won't kill them. So it's a bit of hidden trap, you know, it's a hidden trap for new players that is not aware of how the animals can behave in the game and how system reports what you should do. You know, you can start in the morning. Oh God, that's some lovely storm there. You can start in the morning and the system will give you your targets, and those targets are at that time in a certain position. And as the day goes by and you are chasing them, they will move. And if they move away from you in a range where system deems that you will not complete your task within the work hours, it will send you home. So you've been chasing something for half the day and suddenly you go back home because system thinks, nah, it's too far away now. You got to do something else. So they go all the way home empty-handed, pick them the weapons, the tools, and then they go pick them up again and do another target. That is such a waste of workforce and time. So I suggested to the devs to not do that. I suggested to the devs to go directly to target number 2 and not go home and deliver your tools. I sometimes see the same when they're slaughtering, when they're stripping the animal. They first kill it, then they just leave. And they go to camp to lay down the spear. and to get a slaughtering tool. What a waste! They can easily sit down and do some stripping with their invisible knife that they have. Because I see them sometimes as well, just sitting directly down with the animal they just killed without any stripping tool at all, just their toothpick. So they have an invisible knife. I know they do. I've seen it. You guys have seen it. So that's what needs to get done. We need to make sure that we don't waste so much time, because that is famine inducing. It really is. On hardcore it is. So those of you who play hardcore, who has experienced this, you know for next time, okay, that's how system works. It's not ideal at all. So that is one of the things that I did like about the game, because I have informed about hunter behavior versus animal behavior versus how system is sorting it. And I've given suggestions how to fix it or tweak or make it better. So we'll see what they do. But for now, I'm not happy with it. Okay, so now we have sleep spots for 5. We need more. You can see that as they are rotating about who sleeps by the good fireplace and the housing, you can see that the housing needs sometimes calm down a bit. But then again, you need to sleep several nights consecutively in a good housing to not get unrest. So we need to get more up. We just need to make sure we get the materials we need. Is it 50 per? It is 50 per, yeah. So yeah, still some lacking. Yeah. So normally on beginners, I would not choose to harvest either roots or pines for that matter, because they're not liked. On hardcore, that could be a reason for them leaving. Actually, they will leave if you have just migrated, because you will lack housing for a long time. So you need to be careful. Combination unrest is a huge killer. It is the biggest or most frequent killer in hardcore. And number 2 is famine. Those are the 2 things that are fighting for the first position. Combination unrest and famine. And this is because there are hidden events in the game. The game has hidden events. Some of them you can't really do anything about, because each locality is not necessarily the same. And this is something that, especially hardcore players, you need to be aware that one locality can be completely different from the next. I say to the newer players that if you think a little bit like real life and transfer some of that logic to the game, you will have a better understanding already. Because, for instance, the seasons have various types of foods that is mature and ready to be harvested, while other seasons have nothing. That's the same as in real life. You can rely on that to also be the case in the game. Yeah. So the UI is still a matter of controversy, isn't it? Some love it and others absolutely flipping hate it. It is by most people considered clunky. I have gotten used to it. I've never had anything else. So I'm used to it, but I can understand that people want a more easily understood and less clickety UI. I get that, but I'm not having an issue with this. But I do know that the devs are changing it, and then they are developing it a bit differently, and then they are devolving. Yes, they have devolved as well. Another thing that I don't like that they've done is they've removed the communal policies, because they were so good to use to make sure things get done the way they should with regards to the groups versus communal tasks. But like I said in the new player video I made the other day, use your work spots as a priority. Yeah, if you lack a lot of straw, for instance, and add more people to the straw group and remove from others where you have more than you need, or you're filling what you need. And it is more micromanagement. Absolutely. I did warn the devs that this is exactly what's going to happen. And if you know, they have told me they are aiming for less micromanagement, but I informed, well, this is more. So you have then prematurely removed the option people have to have less micromanagement. And that was, yeah, that kind of what I said, but I said that a long time ago, and there is no changes because it is part of a system that is coming where they are redoing all the work groups to be pure professions, you know. So there's going to be quite a few changes. Come on, you rat. Oh, I can see one over the river. Ha! Gotcha. So this is the case where I'm happy when they kill the animals, even though I hate the sound they make. Because it means we get a bit of a rat kebab or a rabbit stew in the morning. Yeah, look, they managed to kill one. So a small piece of rabbit stew in the morning for some lucky chap. But it's okay because we've managed to kill the larger animals. It's not like we don't have any food. We have plenty of food. Look, we even have berries in 10 kbc. What in the actual F? So this is region 1. It should be region 2 because you have berries. What the hell? You never see that up in northern Norway. You have 2 roots, 1 hare, a wild dog, and 14 rats, and that's it. And here you even have deer already. What the hell? But I know there has been a few changes to this. So I do believe we might actually be lucky and get more deer up in the north. I think that has been in the game for quite a while because I've seen a pattern. They have also increased the fertility, not only for some of the wild animals, especially the bigger ones, but also for our domestic animals. Some people are still not happy with it because they want all their games to behave exactly the same, all animals to have offspring every year, but I don't think that's a good idea. I know you can't have everything exactly as it is in real life. There needs to be some gameplay options as well. And if you are allowed to have a max amount, which is 64 per species, of livestock within a few years, that's going to make it too easy on any account. You know, so, and also it's not feasible, it's not logic, because there is no way that everybody had all the types of livestock back in the Neolithic timeline, and certainly not the amounts that we are allowed. We're allowed pigs, we're allowed goats, and we're allowed cattle, and we're allowed up to 64 of each. So I don't think that should be changed. I think it should still be random. I also think it should still be that some tribes only get a few of the types, some tribes only get 1 of the types. I think that is exactly as it should be. We have it easy. We get option of all types, and we get option to fill the tribe up to 64 with each of these types. So that is not realistic. But people want more. I will always vote against getting more. What I have agreed to, and that I have talked about to the devs, is that what I see is a pattern is that unless you accept migrants and get a certain animal species up to roughly 10, you will always have to rely on migrants to get a proper growth of your stock. If you manage to get 10 of a mixed gender of a type, you are almost guaranteed to always manage on your own with the drop every now and then from the migrants. If you never accept migrants after you've gotten 10, you are likely, however, to lose bit by bit. You might get a spurt of growth and then you are reducing again. Yeah. So if you want to have all the types we have and you want to have them in good amounts, you should start looking to relax a bit with the migrants when you have around 10 of the type, especially the cattle. Cattle are the ones who are the most difficult, and also lately the pigs. The pigs seem to not want to be so fertile anymore, so those have also been increased after I tested it and found that the pattern was not that good. So there has been changes because of how my testing results have turned out. The cattle are more fertile. They will have more offspring. Also, they no longer get only 1. They can also get 3 now. They can get up to triplets. Yeah. So it's not like you might have a cow giving birth every year, but when she does, she could get up to 3, you know. So was with the hysterical sound when the animals come and put up the speed. They seem to regress on the music fitting all speed types. So yeah, that's a bit of a thing needed to be tweaked. Let me see. Okay, so now we have red houses. People are not happy. They also want some prey options. You can see the yellow prey options. I might give them an offering or two. I will see what I decide. Or did I already give one? I don't remember it. I might have done. Who knows? Oh, here we go. Yep. The thing is, it's not like I thought we were going to stay forever. That's not how it works in 10kbc. If you are plonking your butts down by the ocean, you will have to move because the ice melting will drown you. It's just how it is. So over several thousand years, there was like a ton of water that needed to be put in place. So by 7kbc, I think Doggerland is gone. It should be gone by 7kbc or so. Right, so let's creep up a bit upwards. Let's see. Look at that. Just a small piece of a river, so we get, that's a secret I'm not sure everybody knows, but I will share that secret with you. You have, when landing, depending on your tribe size, you have an allocated amount of fish pools, you have an allocated amount of clam pools, etc., etc., within a randomized number that you will get when you land on a new locality. The more water you have, the more divided and spread out these will be. So if you pick just a small corner of water, you will have everything in one place. Just saying. Just saying. Don't tell the devs you have this information because they will then change it. So this is going to be our secret. We're not going to tell the devs. This is a hardcore small secret I cheat with. I have a few others as well. I'll share a bit as I remember them as I go along. I have a little cat here wanting to cuddle. Oh, they are so sweet. I'll show you pictures soon. Oh, look at all the forest. Jeez, a lot of forest. Right, let's go find some water. There's way too much water here. You know, we took only a small part of the water, but it seems to be like a lot of water. So the map is not 100% precise. My recording equipment or my computer is getting warm. There is a bit of lag when I move around. It's the VSDC. I'm using VSDC to edit and put all my videos in and put together and stuff like that. And sometimes it chops a bit and it uses literally my entire CPU to work. I put it to do my GPU, which is a RTX 4080, and I have an i9 with water cooling. So editing is not an issue, but sometimes in the heat it's up to like 70-80 degrees, which is okay for an i9. But my VSDC is a little bit laggy, to admit. Let me see, putting down the usual thing, fireplaces. Let's get stones. Let's cheat a bit and get some sticks. There you go, just to get started. Let's do a tree as well. Let's chop a tree as well. Right, it's the usual thing. Get down, comfort, make sure you have food as well. One of the things that I see that some hardcore players do is that they tend to focus so much on building up the camp that they forget to get food, enough food. And the thing is, on hardcore, you need to have a steady stream of food coming in. You can't just rely on picking food one day and hope they will be okay the next day, because they won't. They will be really annoyed and quickly starving. I mean, a child will die within the day. I think that's way too steep. Way too steep. But yeah, we'll see if the devs are calming down a little bit on the starvation behavior. So one of the typical responses is that, well, it's a month. They don't eat in a month. No, it's 5 seconds for us players. Yeah. So, you know, there's a kind of logic lacking in some of the replies I get. No, it's actually 2 months. There's 2 days, 2 months. No, that's like 20 seconds for us players. We can't do anything in those times, because that's not how the game works. You have granted 1 month is 1 sleep, but there's no way you have granted that players can get 1 month of supplies in that day, right? See, there's a lack of a certain lack of logic here. But of course there is gameplay to consider as well. But there's one thing to shave yourself, and there's another thing to just cut your flipping head off. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go over some of the more older changes and fixes to patches. So what they've done to the you know, the clear task, it used to be that if you're free, you went ahead and did it. But I complained so loudly that they gave in and gave it full control. So if you are using clear task, as hardcore player, you probably know exactly how to use it. If you're using clear task, be aware everyone will drop everything to go do your bidding. You can kill your tribe. Remember that. So if you're going to use clear task on large amounts of resources, you must make sure that they have enough food for at least that day. Otherwise, don't do it. Yeah, because that's how strong clear task option is at the moment. Oh, it's time to get some dryers. Get the food lasting longer, because the meat, the raw meat and the raw fish normally only last a few sleeps. So this is what I don't like about fast game, when everything is you know, 1 sleep is 1 month. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I've said it to the devs on several occasions. You can't exclude an entire community of all-time players that do not want to play fast by not allowing them to have what we used to have. The reason they removed it, however, is because it took so much time to balance the 3 between each other, even though I was the one doing all the flipping testing and telling them what they needed to do. And when they became only one working, a one-man project, then it was locked that they would not give back, you know, either classic or 3 sleeps per month. And I don't like it. I really don't like it. I don't love the game as I did, because they have removed the option to play slow. The option you have now in menu is for historical years only. So if you pick fast, like we have done, the historical years will go fast. If you pick normal, they will go normal, or whatever the game deems normal. If you pick slow, they will go slower. But you won't have more sleeps in the month. You will no longer have these huge fields rolling over the hills, you know. If you can manage 5 maxed out farms with a 400+ tribe, that's literally going to be what you can manage. Because you have 1 sleep for clearing, you have 1 sleep for tilling, 1 sleep for planting. That's it. That's what you've got. I find it frustrating, I have to admit, that they won't at least give us a classic. You know, classic used to be 1 sleep is 1 week, you know. I loved that. That was the best ever. I would play all the time if that was back, but now I play mostly to locate bugs, to help other players figure out what they did wrong in a game, or why their game is not working as they should, blah blah blah, and to test all the patch notes. I don't have the same enjoyment in the game because they have made changes which I find idiotic. It's absolutely idiotic. For instance, The starvation system is so bad. It really needs to be reworked. I have said you can't have that the tribe is lost when a few people are hungry and they go home for food instead of working when only one piece of food is in the camp. You can't have 50 members going for one scrap of food. That is stupid. It's so backwards, because only one will get the food while the 49 others have wasted their day, wasted their time on going back for something they can't get. They should instead focus on their work until there were more food in camp, because if they stayed on their task and got food back, you would be able to avoid the famine that so many players are jumping straight into. It is a 100% player trap. It is a hidden event. Unless you are an experienced player, you will go into this trap. You will find that if more than a few people are hungry, they will stop all the work they do to go home to try to get that one scrap. But only one person will get it, you know? So that is one thing that really needs to be redone. I also want the hunting system to be tweaked a bit. I don't like when they are sending out 4 hunters to hunt something that is far away, and when that animal moves 2 more meters away from them, the system stops them, calls them back home, because then it is deemed not completable within the work hours. That needs to be reworked, because that's just idiotic. So you need to either keep the animal still, or you need to move the animal closer to where the middle is. It's either or. There's no discussion, because you can't. A hunter can only control the animal as far as chasing, because the animal will not chase towards middle or towards camp. They will chase towards the edge. Yeah, and hunters are relying on animal behaviors, and for now it's not working as well as it should. That needs fixing. What also needs fixing is that there is way too much unbuildable land. You have so much stupid red everywhere you try to build. So unless you find a flat area, you can't build. So you can't have these special mountain tribes where you have a house here and a house there high up on the hill and blah 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 blah, because you need flat, otherwise they won't build. And that is something that I want changed. I also want the option to have nights on or off. Yeah, I also want the option to decide population cap. I also want the option to have livestock coming with the migrants that is choosable. You can choose, like they have 2 species, you pick one species. I want that. I also want that you can trade for animals, trade for livestock. You can't trade away. You probably never want to trade away. We can trade for get livestock. These are the things that are reachable. You can reach them easily. Easily can be done. Let me see how it's going. People are getting housing. Yeah, a lot of pine nuts. Yeah. So, okay, so we have an okay flow. We're kind of just waiting for the mud to come in, because we need mud. And we need to pay attention to when the sea levels are going to eat us up, because I'm pretty sure they will. Yeah, I know for a fact that they eventually will. So, yeah, that's, and also, of course, animal raid is, yeah, I've said it before. It doesn't make any sense that animals go through everything. Like, they're just strolling like a walk in a flipping park through all your houses and everything is blocking. Get a long ass line of notifications, bam, 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 spamming you every time. It is frustrating. There's no need. Tell us the animal is there. That's all you need to know. We click the animal, we come to where he is, we can see what he's doing, and we can do fuck all about it until we start chasing them away. And that is not done in 1 second. You encircle the animal and then they will go get it. So the devs have already said that they do not like themselves the system for how to deal with animal raids. So they're going to make it more automated, they have said. but you know, that is not a priority at the moment. I get that. Performance is 10 times. Performance was the most important part, and that's what they've spent, at least the one who's still working all the time with the game has decided to spend his time on, including tons of bugs. I mean, I present bugs every time you have a patch, there are bugs. And another thing that is typical for this engine, it seems, is that it reverses changes that has been done previously in the next patch. So I need to go over all the old bugs and see, are you still active? Are you active again? Have you developed into a different kind of bug? So as a tester, it is always so much work to do, even though they don't release patches every day. There's a ton of work to do. Let me see, I want to go over a few more of the older patch notes. So the reads, people got stuck in reads because you couldn't go through reads before, and I found the bug after a player commented he had people stuck in read, and then I went and tested and managed to reproduce, so that was a problem. So that is now removed. All members can now walk through reads, so that will not happen again. And we also spent quite a long time trying to fix the stuck issue, because there were so many players commenting that my people are stuck, and I found it over and over again. And I told them that it is the angles of the cell that is changing as the day goes on, because it's fast. The speed is fast, so it's a full month in one sleep, meaning you will have environmental changes. So you need to make sure that the cells they need for pathing does not change to a point where they can no longer step on it. And that has been done. So now in the last 4 months, I haven't had a single person stuck, and I play a lot. So that has been fixed. Also, another problem that has been fixed, this is recent, I've been testing it for the last month or so, yeah, month and a half or so, and that is the learning of and the keeping up with architecture in the later games. You know, I always managed to lose the mud house, the longhouse, unless I had everything in a small builder group and kept them completely and 100% busy all the time. So what the devs did, I made a few suggestions. One of them was that repairs should take longer, and that they should learn a higher pace of learning while repairing. And what could not be done was to increase the rudimentary. That is why, because if you do that, you will end up with the entire tribe having architecture skills and everybody wanting to do the same job. So can't do that. So what devs did was that they increased, first of all, they increased the overall learning of architecture. So up to 80% or so, 80, 85-ish, they learned really fast. But I still found that after 85%, it was still way too slow, and you would still lose the later discoveries, such as the mud house and the longhouse, unless you used, like I said, a small builder group with constant tasks. So they then took one of my suggestions, and they increased the repair time, and they increased by 6. I've tested it. You learn architecture 6 times faster when you repair in later games after, I think it's 80-ish, 85-ish. So the last few weeks I've been playing, I haven't lost anything. You can also get away with not having the architecture in a group, but I will still do that, but I will just not keep them as busy, and I will also have more people in it. So, you know, there's a builder group for a reason. Use the builder group, just to be sure. Yeah. We also had, you know, we always complain that it's way too little straw, don't we? We also have the issue that straw tends to not want to regrow close to camp once it has been harvested. So in the late end games in Neolithic, you end up with, unless you have tons of farms with wheat, you will not have enough straw, because all the better housing in the late Neo are needing straw for repairs. You have the longhouse, you have the mud house, you have all the round houses. Unfortunately, the other houses that does not need straw are in minors. So the only house that I use, except from the odd stone house, pure stone house, is the big pelt hut. The big pelt hut is only, I think it's -1, or maybe it's increased now. Well, we'll see. Oh, I'll take him. Yeah, see? Now we can do the straw pit huts. It's certainly better than those small, the poor man shacks full of spiders and shit. Right, so now we got lavender containing straw. So if you have lavender, click on it, and the system that tells you what it is will inform you that this one has straw, and then will inform you how much straw it has. Yeah? There was quite a few bugs that has been fixed the last few months, and the one that ruined the game for me non-stop was that the game kept crashing during certain burial rituals, and that has been fixed. It took him 5 minutes to fix it, and I have no idea how he did it. I don't understand coding, but he did it. So yeah, there are several smaller things, like there have been tweaks to player priority effect. There has been tweaks to the speed for people. Like the beginners have 100% efficiency on absolutely everything, so everything is really fast and efficient, while on hardcore is minus up to 75%, depending what it is. So we are slow and, slow and, did I say slow? We are slow and slow. So yeah, that needs to be perhaps adjusted a little bit more, because at the moment we work harder than we should in the late games. Also, they have reduced a lot of the log needs for palisades, and they have also increased the amount of logs you get from each tree type. You can get up to 6 logs from one tree now. So that is something you can just click on the tree and you will see what it will provide of logs and sticks. So that is a really good system. You can check everything yourself. You can check how much it gives, what will it give you of this, and what will it give you of that, and does it give this or does it not give this? So you only need to use the hover system and the click system, and you will find stuff. Yeah. Also, what else was there? What they have done that I don't particularly love is that they have taken away the skip night speed. So now you have auto skip night speed. I don't love it. So if you don't want it, you force the game back down. Yeah. Let me see. We also got more straw from threshing the wheat, which is something I made happen because I complain always, because I do the really big tribes for a long time, and especially those up in really bad environments, and we always have issues with straw, always issues with straw. So we got more straw from the threshers as well. You see, going over some more. Yeah, I don't like that they removed the community priority. It was not a good idea. It's now been almost, is it 5 months? Yeah, almost 6 months since they did it, and I don't like it. I really don't like it. So the palisades also have their maintenance period increased, so it takes a lot longer before they actually need to be repaired. So thus they need less materials, of course, because it takes longer time to when they actually need to be repaired. So that is something we don't need to worry too much about, because now we can have a larger area of the camp fenced in with palisades, and actually manage to keep it up. Yeah. Animal reproduction was actually increased by 20%, so that's quite a bit, and I can see it when I have more than 10, but it is getting the animals, the same species, up to 10 that seems to be an issue for most players. And when they don't manage to do that within 1,000 years, it seems they think that the reproduction is too small. But when you have 10 plus, you tend to be okay with the odd trickle from the migrants. So this is something that each player need to consider, that don't reject all migrants, because they also help you with keeping up with skills, although you shouldn't necessarily need it now, so you can be more picky, but keep in mind that migrants are there to help you, not to make things difficult for you. There are also some questions from players I want to go through. One of them has to do with explosive population, and this is something that the beginners always seem to suffer from and with, and also some experienced players, because the pattern I have found when I have tested this is that the earlier you start, the more likely you are to, in pre-Neo, the last 2,000 years or so before you get Neolithic, you will have an explosive population. I have informed the devs, and I will see what they are doing, because the population should be more streamlined, but it seems to have a huge explosion a few 1,000 years before you actually get farms. And that is why people sometimes in 6K BC have 400 people, and they're not even in the Neolithic. So even though it is happiness that decides the amount of birth, and also happiness deciding the amount of migrants you will get, there is something there that is causing a high population burst during these few millennia. So I'm going to test more on that later. Don't have time now, and provide more results to the devs, and then I think they might be making some changes. I don't know, but I have suggested before to have a limit on how many people you can have per decade in the game, per millennia in the game. But that, I don't know, it imprisons the players a bit, because I also am of the type that wants to decide everything on my own, a bit of a control freak. I want to decide, okay, if I want 406 KBC, I will bloody well have 406 KBC. You are not to decide that. That is taking away some of my pleasure in the game, So it's a bit bobo. I was thinking to restrict this policy to the beginners only, and to force a tutorial version of beginners for players to play before they start anything else. It's like ancient Rome, and one of the Rome games, they have that you have to complete the tutorial, otherwise you can't play the game. This is what I have suggested to the devs as well, and we'll see what they do. I don't know what they will do, because they don't always listen to me. They don't always do what I recommend, because they also have opinions, about how they want the game, and I have to abide. I decide literally very little. I can influence, but I decide very little. I'm just a tester like everybody else, but I just talk about what I find. So what else have they done? Yeah, they made it so that you can feed your pigs with bones. It is not particularly loved by the pigs, so they will go have other food first instead. But if there is a starvation and you only have pigs, feed them the bones. And now humans do not feed them, because humans can eat from the feeders. And I said to the devs when they allowed bones to be given to pigs, that we need to stop humans eating bones in the feeders. They need to stop helping themselves from the feeders, because they do that. They eat from the feeders, although I don't want it. But instead of disallowing humans to eat from feeders, they removed that humans can no longer eat bones, which is a way to do it, I guess. Not necessarily in my opinion, the best way. The best way is to avoid to disallow people to eat from the feeders at all, because the feeders will not have any good food in it for you. It will have acorns, it will have roots, it will have flax grains, and you can't stop people going to eat the food that you don't want them to eat, no matter what you've got. And that is something that I will continue to argue to the devs. Remove the option for people to help themselves from feeders, especially if it's disliked food. You don't want them to eat your flax grains. you know, it's 20 unhappiness immediately. It's ridiculous. Well, 18 I think it is, but anyway. Well, let me see. Are we getting closer to a timeline where we can get the stone? Because we're going to do a lot of stone, because they do not need dismantling, because they will give you nothing back. So you can just leave them. While the others, I will choose to dismantle or take with whatever I can get with me. Yeah? Yeah. They've done some work with the tutorial as well. It's mostly for new players, so they have better access. I have a 4K screen, so they're tiny on mine anyway, but for those who have normal screens like 2K something, then you will have a better usage and better utilization of the page. Yeah. And what else is there? I also asked with regards to animals that the females should have a higher percentage of likelihood of being born above males. So now I think females is 55% and males are 45 or there and thereabouts. It used to be 51 females and 49 males. So now they have changed that a bit as well. I'm not sure, you've probably noticed. And one of the things that I suggested for the pigs, because their reproduction was very poor, they actually took so long to grow up and had such a short time to be adults and become pregnant before they were old and were slaughtered, that they didn't get any offspring. So the devs increased the time from when they are adults until they become old, so they have a much longer time where they can get pregnant and get their offspring. Yeah. Yeah, that is happening. So even though pigs are supposed to get like a 6 and 8, 9 and 10, 11, a ton of piglets in each birth, we can't have it like that. We can't have that. So we have roughly between 2 and 3 every time. But the fertility is not super duper high. But if you manage to get 10 pigs or even just 6, you will have it going. At least that is my average so far. But I also have plenty of tribes that only have one type of animal that can manage to build up to a good flock. So this is something I want. I want that randomness. I don't want everyone to have everything the same. If you get everything the same and you want it like that, sure, why not? But if you want it to be much more realistic and how it used to be, God, look, listen to the wind. Not every farmer, not every household had a ton of animals. And this needs to be recognized and agreed upon. Because that's how it was. It is not an opinion. This is a fact. Yeah? Let me see. Oh, he has... Oh, shoot. I tried to kick out the guy with no family, so that the guy with family or the one with family could get the grave spot, but it didn't work. They buried him again anyway. This is just something I do every now and then, to not have to waste workforce on graves when we're going to move shortly anyway. Because people with no relatives, they will not create any kind of unrest in the tribe, no matter. Yeah. So they started already in, with regards to performance, they started already in January. And I think Mr. Dev has finally found the hang of how to make sure that we don't loosen too much of the beauty in the game, but also that we can keep a decent frames. And I see feedback after the last patch, which is 0.9.3, is that a lot of players have much better frames, much less issues, much less crashes. So I think he finally found the golden line for where to place the game. And I know he will do some fine tuning as well, make it even better as time goes by. But I've also reminded him we need to get content. So for now, we have in testing that the predators are ready to be done again, ready to start work on, and the groups are ready to be continued working on, and the new set of tools is ready for their mesh. So we have several things cooking at the same time. As soon as the dev is satisfied at the moment with performance. I think he wants to wait a bit more for more feedback from not only the patrons but also every player who has had issues with the game with regards to performance and loading shader time and all these things, to come back a bit and say, okay, this is okay, or this is not okay, you know, so he can do some adjustments. Because I think the best thing that has been done in years for the game is exactly this performance improvement, because it was super needed. And number two is, like I always say, we need more content. So now we have 3 things that we're going to work on. Not everybody knows about the mesh for the tools. We're going to get new tools, several tool types, different materials that can do mostly the same thing but with different performance. So this is coming. We also have several, at least I think it's 3, or is it 2? Okay, it might be 4 tool types that needs to be released. Yeah, so there's plenty cooking. We just need to get started again now after the update and the performance changes. Right, new place. I had to migrate because the food was going really low. I didn't want to wait. Look at all the fiber. I love that they have these small splashes of water, because they will have resources in them, won't they? Like almost like riverside. You will have fiber, you will have reed, you will have some lovely clam pools, you will have fish pools, and you will have mud, you will have raw stones, and probably fine stone and flint cores. So yeah, let's get comfort down. Do we have any food? We have some food. I put on rationing again. Yes, rationing is very much used in hardcore, especially far up in northern Norway. You know what I want to do? I want to try to play hardcore Egypt. I mean, farming along the Nile. Yeah. Shall we meet up on a hardcore cruise to Egypt? Do some farming along the Nile? I would love that. You know, the cultures that they have showed in the intro video, the original one, that is the cultures they already have made plans for that will come. You know, so it's not like we're never going to get it. We're going to get it. We're going to get the Near East, Mesopotamia. We are probably going to get America as well. I'm not sure about America, but everything that is connected to Europe, we're going to get some lovely Near East, and I hope we're going to get Egypt. We need Egypt. Because I need Egypt personally. Personally, I need Egypt. I need the Queen of the Nile. I need Pharaoh. I need all these things clashed into reality, into the game. I am going to fight for that. I know the planned cultures coming next after the first DLC will be the Metal Ages. Which ones? I don't know. Probably bronze, because that's the first one, isn't it? It's the first one, right? Bronze, copper, iron. You know what? I'm mixing up the Metal Ages. That's welcome to my life. Get down housing for everyone. We don't want them to be grumpy, because now they are used to good housing. So now we cannot slack around. Oh, maybe I should put up the work hours again. I put them down while we travel, so that any kind of work on rest is reset. Any kind. Remember that when you uproot your tribe, all housing unrest is gone to 0. But they have memory, meaning if you don't put down housing for everyone within 12 sleeps, you will have issues. You will have some people with poor grades starting to want to leave. So be really aware of this if you have a large tribe. It's going to be a pain in the where to keep people happy. You know, when I play the really big tribes, I constantly have unhappy people. Always a red face on the website. You never see it with a green face. If it's a green face, it's because I've been playing for 14 hours to try to get it right. Yeah, just saying. It's no joke. You see how we're doing with food. Don't forget food lily. Oh my god. Let's get a bit more of each and everything here. But let's make limits as well. So, yeah. There you go. That one is done. The first pelt pit hut. We need bones, I think. Yeah, bones. We're going to get it. Bit by bit, we're going to get it. Don't have a lot of food. But but yeah, oh, it's so pretty here. It is pretty, oh so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna let them build that and not add too much more, but we do need to remember to put up tanners for, because now we're building quite a few of the pelt pit huts, so we need 4 leather per hut. The thing that I don't like about the pit hut is that they are spending quite a long time digging the foundations, and doing that, it gives 0 learning, no learning. And the first thing they do after they've dug is a weaving skill, because then you are wattling the wall for the pelt pit hut. And it's only when you're placing the roof that you actually are learning architecture. So be aware of that. So if you are going to make an architecture group, make sure it's pure architecture and not a mix, because then you will have swing door effect. Just saying. Let me see. For me, the best thing to do to get pure arc is to just do the small houses, the straw houses, the reed houses, and the pits, you know, and have like 1 person doing 5 million pits. I know it's not playing as intended, but you know, if you are impatient, that is a way to go. If you are patient and want to play the game the way it's supposed to, then don't. It's up to you. Nobody is here to supervise you. You know, you can do whatever you see fit. I do. You know, sometimes when I live in report and the devs see what I'm doing, they ask, Lily, why are you doing this? And I have to defend my choices to that. Dude, I will play as I see fit, you know. Yes, that's not how you play. That's not how you're supposed to do it. Nah, they're normally very cool with whatever I do. They do call me a hacker though, when I find ways to make things easier that they didn't intend. But you know, this is human nature. We will try to do as much as possible with as little effort as possible. Yeah, that is human nature. It's part of survival. You can't fight it. It's just how it is. They need to realize it. I've said it so many times. You have to realize it's human nature. It's not cheating. It's making the best of the situation. It's experimenting and figure out what works best for you. That's all there is to it. I promise. I know the majority of you, at least you hardcore players, you will agree with me. You have to find better ways that things will work. And you do. When you play a lot, you experiment a lot, you're not afraid of failing, you keep going over and over again, you will succeed in the end with or without new ways to play. Seriously. There's more than one way to play. You don't have to always play as intended. I don't. Devs don't need to know that. I don't tell them everything. I can't because they will take away so many of the things that I really like, you know, because they say, oh, that's not as intended. I am the reason we have lost a lot of good things, because I have experimented and found better ways to do it with those things. Like, for instance, I could make water houses. For 3 weeks I made water houses, and then the devs found out and removed the option to build near water. That's my fault. There are many things that is my fault, because it's not playing as intended, and the devs have seen through me, seen through what I've tried to do, tried to cheat my way to get an easier game, not easier but better success with the hardcore tribes. Because you need to be resourceful, you need to use everything the game offers in order to survive with a huge tribe in northern Norway. That's just how it is. You can't play careful. You need to take risks, you know. Let's see what else is cooking. I will look at more of the. Let's see. Yes, I talked about the female percentage being higher. Oh, let's get them. I'm not even going to check. I'm just going to get them. Just get up the houses for everyone. It's like I'm always behind on houses. Always behind. And now we also need graves. Yeah. So one thing that I noticed a few weeks ago that was really bad was that they were way too slow when things were communal to get started with the building and stuff. So the initial, I said the clearing is way too low. That's one thing. And then they are too slow assigning people to do the work unless you are in a builder group or in any group for that matter. So that has been increased. So now communal building and stuff will be higher. The clearing is also extra increased in farms because it was way too slow, way too slow. I could wait the entire season for someone to come clear one cell and they never did. And that was so frustrating because you had to use your clear tool to get them to clear the one flipping cell. So that has been increased as well. That should be in the save here. There should be a 9.3 because I got it done in, I think it was 9.1. That's 2 patches ago. Yeah, 9.1, and I told them how it was working and how well it was, blah 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 blah. So then it was ready for release. See what else? Yeah. So they increased the build and repair. They also made sure that not all with the same knowledge joined everything, so that those who didn't have any knowledge was not allowed to learn. So that has been balanced a bit. We might have to do some more tweaking, but I feel we always do tweak on knowledge, either up or down or sideways or whatever. But for now, I think working with knowledge is really good in game, especially the learning part and the keeping up with the skills. By 1500 BC you should have 100% access to all the skills, so you can just work on it until you max. And the risk of losing any kind of architecture is only if a player has all 400 people doing 2 houses. So be smart. Do use a builder group for architecture to make sure it stays up. But the repair speed is slowed, and the learning of architecture while you're doing repair is 6 times faster. You can literally see the green growing when they're working. Not kidding. Just check it out yourself. What else? So the stock issues that a lot of us had issues with, I had it all the time, has been sorted with literally mellowing the cells, and it seems to work. What do you have? Yeah, you're good. Oh, thank you. You are good. Let's go. So they also changed the visuals on snow. So snow is now thicker. You will see it later when we get more snow. We go higher up north. You will see the snow is like on layers upon layers. I have informed the devs that the fireplaces are disappearing in the snow, so they should really fix that. Like you can't see when you're placing down a fireplace because the snow is too deep. You can't see it, so you just have to plonk it down and hope for the best. That is something that they need to fix because I already reported that. And we also had an issue with farms that came back and got fixed, and then came back and then got fixed again. And now it seems to work. Fingers crossed, need to keep an eye on it. And that is when you take a full area, the farm cells do not go on the empty areas. It goes only on the trees. What? I know, it's the weirdest bug ever. But that's how it is. Or that's how it was. And now it's back to normal. For how long? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Also, they have done a lot of stuff in Linux, Proton, and the Steam Deck thing. A lot of it. They also have done a lot of window compatibility stuff. There's been so much tech the last 6 months or 4 or 5 months that I haven't really been able to test because I have no idea what it means. So all the tech stuff needs to come from you guys who know about tech stuff, because it's not me. I don't know that. I can tell you everything about gameplay, sure. How every change is affecting gameplay, sure. But the tech stuff, no, not so much. I have a NASA computer. Come on, I have a huge ass computer that can handle anything. It's an overkill literally overkill. So I can't help with the tech. I never have any issues. That's the thing. If I crash, the devs know it's something with the game. It's never my computer, and not once has it been my computer. Actually, that's not true. I once had a memory issue, but then I swapped my entire system and got water cooling, i9, 64 gig memory, and RTX 4080, which will next year be swapped out with a 5090. Just saying. I want to keep updated, you know. I want everything to be tip-top. Let me see what else is there that has been done the last 6 months or so. Yeah, did I say I want to be able to have much less red when I try to build? Because that is super duper annoying. Yeah, I need to make sure that we can actually build on a bit hill with the big mud houses and stuff like that. It's so annoying that you can't. Yeah, you guys know what I mean. It's annoying. Yeah. What else was there? Yeah, they also decreased the probability of having animal raids. I don't mind that at all. On hardcore, I still want it to be a pain in the ass. I want it to be difficult. That's exactly what hardcore is for. If you don't want animal raids, you will also lose out on a lot of prey. So even if you feel that you don't particularly want, I'll take them anyway. Take all migrants for now, because we're so small. So if you feel like you don't like animal raid enough, even though you do hardcore, just take it out. But be aware you will have much less animals. Because remember that the animals, this is something that not everyone knows. I think most hardcore players do know this. And that is that all animals that come directly raiding, not the ones strolling through your village just to go from A to B, but those who are directly coded to raid you, they appear from thin air. They are not the existing population of animals. They are a new flock that is coming from neighboring regions, ready to take your food. So I once had 17 deers come to me in hardcore, and I was so happy. I chased them away, I killed none, and I let them grow up to be a huge flock that I slowly started hunting to keep a really good trickle of meat coming to camp. Yeah? So now you know, animal raids, they are coming from a newly created flock that will land in certain areas in your map and beeline for your food. Or whatever they can chew on. Yeah, so you can chase them away, don't kill them yet, let them grow. Let them grow. Unless you're in an area where you actually have tons of large animal anyway. You won't have any really big amounts of anything up in where we are going. We will have some deer. Yeah, we have got an increase in deer population up in the far north because we have nothing else. I know we don't have cattle. We don't get cattle. We might get one horse, maybe if we're lucky. I once landed on a place that had an island with the only horse in the entire locality in, and nobody could reach that horse. He was all alone on that small island, and you know, he was the only horse. So he lived his life there and died there and rotted away there. His bones are probably still there. So yeah, that can happen. We've been here quite a while now, haven't we? So we have, so see, when everyone has a place to sleep and they're okay with the place they can sleep, it's time for you to, this is the time for you to start torturing them in other ways if need be. But if you have a smooth running tribe, there's no need. But here you can up work hours now. You can also put on rationing, because what we must always avoid is combination unrest. So in hardcore, they are 75% more likely to be much more pissed off and much easier, much sooner. So keep that in mind. I think most hardcore players are aware of this. Unless you are inexperienced, then you are probably in for a few nasty surprises. Complete annihilation of your tribe is not unheard of. I have done it many times. Many times. I have, oh god, all the tribes I've killed. I should keep a Memorial Day for all 5 million tribes I killed. But I like to push the limits and do things that is considered, yeah, no, you can't do that, Lily. Watch me, watch this space. I have to do that. I'm so stubborn, I have to do it. I just have to get it done. But you know, if it's impossible, then it's impossible. If you can't do it, yeah, if it's impossible, it doesn't matter how good you are, you can't do it. This is something I need the devs to understand with regards to Region 1 North. Impossible can't be done. Really fucking godlike hard can. The impossible can't. And they need to understand this. And at times I feel they don't. It's like, yeah, but you want it hard. Yeah, hard. But if you can't do it, you can't do it. You're asking the people without feet to run. You know, you don't have the option to build the feet. What do you want to do? What's going on? There is sometimes a little bit lack of logic. But I also do think that this has to do with language. Because I know Mr. Dev has to use our translation thingy when we talk, when we discuss things, because their English is still not great. I know Mr. Dockby, his English is probably worse. It's probably, he says one word per year to me. Well, the thing is, maybe I should teach myself Spanish, you know, maybe I should go learn Spanish. It's you know, if the mountain doesn't want to come to Mohammed, then Lily should go to the Bleeding Mountain. Anyway, back on track. What have they done also? We had issues with people who are doing some, you know, using those tea thingies. I don't know what it's called. Some Wiimote or something that kept crashing the game and ruining gameplay because people want to use their mods. You know, that goes without saying. I want to use mods. I want the low camera mod. I want the higher population mod. Yeah, those are the mods I want. I want low camera. I want bird's eye view camera. And I want that I can have over 2,000 population. My record of population is 1179, I think. Almost 1,200. But then I ran out. I ran into each and every limit I could possibly find. Every limit was reached. I ran out of graves, I ran out of houses that people were okay with, I ran out of everything. And I bled dry the environment within 6 sleeps. It was not good. So I'm going to try it in Neolithic timeline, because then we have farms. We can have 64 farms. We can have 64 farms. I'm going to have 64 farms. 64 maxed out farms. No, probably not going to work. Each farm needs 45. People. I'm going to teach you guys a small trick in the Neolithic timeline that you probably are not aware of unless you are extremely detail oriented. Look how beautiful. This is pretty, oh so pretty. I really love the nature still. I just wish we could have skip night on or off. But you know, yeah. They are trying to reduce things that is not 100% needed to make sure that gameplay frames, the frames you play, are not messing up your game too much. I get that. I really get that. But I remember when the details and the graphics were so beautiful, I could sit and stare and it was pure therapy. Yeah, I can still remember that. Anyway, this is going to be the video for now. I'm going to continue and we're going to go further and further up north until we basically reach right before Neo comes to us. We're going to be sedentary. I'm going to try that out and see how it works when the tribe is fairly small still, but it might not go as well as I want it to go. We could end up having to reload the game and do stuff all over again. That's part of what I do. If it goes really bad, I make poor decisions, reload the game, try something else. You know, in the end you will succeed. Just never give up. Hardcore is there to challenge you, and it certainly does challenge you when the further up north you go. So I will do part 2 sometime later, either this week or next week. I'm not sure when it's going to be. I also have some beginners to do that I need to do. But until then, have fun and take care.